This is football heritage.
The Europa League final is here, played at the wonderful Puskás Arena in Budapest, Hungary, and our two finalists, Sevilla, the kings of the Europa League, going up against AS Roma, and the king of European finals, Jose Mourinho. Which record will be going down in this final? It is going to be epic. Might not be the best footballing matchup, but the storylines after it are going to be insane. Welcome to the preview and predictions video for the Europa League final. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Now let's get into the video. Let's talk about the road for both teams heading into this final. Sevilla have had an interesting season. They've had obviously Lopetegui as manager, sacked, Sampaoli, sacked, and now it is Mendilibar. And they were in the Champions League group stage, obviously finishing third behind Dortmund and Man City, so they dropped down to the playoff round of the Europa League. They beat PSV in the knockout playoff round, they beat Fenerbahce in the round of 16. It's that quarterfinal matchup where things started to change for Sevilla. They beat Manchester United after being 2-0 down in the first leg, but getting two late goals really, I think, gave this team a lot of confidence. Then they beat down United in Seville 3-0, thanks to obviously De Gea, Maguire having an absolute disaster class. The semi-finals, they were the better team than Juventus. Obviously, the first leg was 1-1, Juventus getting that late goal. I thought Sevilla were excellent in that second leg and deservedly are through to another final. And this is their 7th appearance in this competition in the final. They have won the previous 6. They have never lost a Europa League final. So you think Sevilla are going to lose this one? We'll find out. As for AS Roma, they've had a difficult road in this Europa League. They obviously started from the group stage of the Europa League. They were in the same group as Hojko, Ludogorets, and Real Betis. It didn't get off to the greatest start. They lost to Ludogorets 2-1. It was a late goal. Then they obviously beat Hojko. Then only grabbing 1 point against Real Betis in 2 games. So they had 2 must-win games against Hojko and Ludogorets. They managed to win both. Finished second in the group. They move on to the knockout playoff round. They beat RB Salzburg. Then they go against Real Sociedad, and basically it was a Mourinho masterclass. They win the first leg 2-0, and then away from home, they parked the bus and had less than 25% ball possession and went through to the quarterfinals. Now, the quarterfinals was a very intriguing matchup against Feyenoord, where obviously they played against each other in the Conference League the previous season in the final, and they managed to beat Feyenoord in extra time. It was a fantastic game. Deservedly went through. They were excellent. Tammy Abraham was good. Dybala coming off the bench and making a difference, and that's what gave the players confidence heading into that semifinal against Bayer Leverkusen. The semifinal, it was another Mourinho masterclass. 1-0 victory at home. Away from home, they defended for their lives with structure and sometimes a bit of luck, but it was defensively a masterclass. And Mourinho has done it again, and AS Roma have made it now to back-to-back European finals and trying to go for their first ever Europa League. So let's break down the game a little bit. Obviously for Sevilla, there is no Acuna, which is going to be a big miss because him at the left back position has been excellent. But we have seen the likes of En-Nesyri step up big time. Rakitic in the midfield still showing his old self, even though he's going up in age, but still a great player. Then we see the emergence of Bade in the back. I really like the structure of this Sevilla team. Bryan Gil, I thought, was great against Juventus. It's funny, 2 Spurs players did great against Juventus. Spurs, learn your lesson. But Bryan Gil, Lamela, these guys can come off the bench. I think there is a good structure with this Sevilla team. They're much more organized than what they were previously. They were just conceding goals for fun. Now, they have a proper structure. Ocampos on the right wing is playing excellent. And I think Sevilla know they're going to dominate the ball. But they did that against Juventus. And they played excellent. They created their chances. They just got to take their chances. That's something that Bayer Leverkusen didn't do. That's something that Real Sociedad didn't do. Against Mourinho and AS Roma, you have to take your chances. If you don't, you're not going to get a lot of them. So that's going to be the key issue for Sevilla. As for AS Roma, the biggest question mark heading into this final will be Dybala's health. Now, I don't expect him to start, and I don't think he can play 90 minutes or extra time. So if I'm Mourinho, you play the smart game, the tactical game. As we know, he's a tactical genius. You just rest him, you let him stay on the bench, and then if you need a goal or if it's 0-0, he can be that difference maker off the bench. And we saw when Dybala came off the bench against Feyenoord, the guy is so good. I just wish he wasn't injury prone. But I was really impressed with the likes of Bove in the midfield, Cristante playing at center back, but now with Smalling back, I think Cristante will move to where maybe Bove is playing, but you kind of want that. Like, Bove understands his role. Jose has just installed this winning mentality within this club. and within these players, that these players just believe and they listen to everything Mourinho says. It's about galvanizing the squad. And with the likes of Pellegrini with his creative ability, he's got to have a big game. Pellegrini was great in the final last season. He's got to be that this season. I think the big issue for AS Roma is where you're going to get the goals from. Now, Tammy's got to step up big time in this final. I'm not expecting anything from Belotti. I'm sorry, AS Roma fans. Belotti has been terrible this season. Yes, he works hard off the ball, but he is a striker at the end of the day. And he has not scored anything pretty much this season. So Tammy's got to start. Maybe it's going to be alongside Pellegrini or maybe alongside Belotti. That is what we're going to have to see with Jose Mourinho. But one thing is for sure. Jose is going to approach this game very smart. He's not going to go toe-to-toe against Sevilla. He understands Sevilla have momentum. They're playing well. They got confidence. So Mourinho will understand. We got to sit back. We got to get an early goal, maybe the first 30 minutes. We might just see a carbon copy from what Jose did last summer in the Conference League final. He got the early goal. Then in the second half, they defended and defended like warriors and they won the trophy. It doesn't matter how you win the trophy. It's about lifting the trophy. This is going to be fantastic, people. Yes, it will not be the greatest footballing spectacle that we have seen in European finals, but it's just about... You have two heavyweights of European football. Sevilla, these guys are gods in the Europa League. They're gods. They don't lose this competition. Sevilla have been mostly in a relegation battle all season. But yet they're in another Europa League final. And for AS Roma, a frustrating season. A lot of injuries that Jose has had to carry. They would have done better in the Serie A if they didn't have so many injuries. But it's a part of football. You got to deal with it. And he has said, you know what? Scrap top 4 in the Serie A. We're going for the Europa League trophy. And if you ask any AS Roma fans, maybe they would prefer a trophy than just getting top 4. Who doesn't want to win trophies? And Jose understands that. And Jose is trying not to lose his first final in his career. He's won twice with Porto. He's won it with Inter. He's won with Manchester United. And he's won with AS Roma. This guy knows how to get it done in finals. Does he have something special planned for Sevilla and Mendilibar? Time will tell. But one thing is for sure, one record is going down in Budapest. So what is my prediction for the game? If I'm going to be honest, I have zero clue what's going to happen in this final. But that's why it's so fascinating that, okay, yes, Sevilla are going to dominate the ball, but just there is something with this AS Roma team where they just keep on believing, they keep on believing. They have that winning mentality. That I appreciate with this squad. They might not have the best footballers. Yes, some of them are old like Matic, but he's still giving his all for this club. I have no clue. And I don't know which record is going to go down. But if I have to give a prediction, this might go to penalties. And both goalkeepers are quite good at penalties. Rui Patricio and Bono. You know what? Because I love Jose so much, I still think Sevilla are going to win this though. Jose, I love you. You are one of the greatest managers of all time. Sevilla just have something with this competition that you cannot explain. You can't even explain it to a stranger. You can't even explain it to a footballing expert. They control this game. They'll be frustrated by Roma. I think it will go to 0-0. It will go to penalties. And I think Sevilla win on penalties and win the Europa League final 1-0. And our 7-time Europa League champions. It's gonna be tough, people, to predict this, but let me know your predictions in the comments down below. And let me just say this, I have no clue how this final is gonna go, and of course, good luck to both teams. I was earlier this season away at AS Roma. It was the atmosphere was fantastic, and I know how much the fans want to win this game, but let's see what happens, and that's what makes football exciting, and especially this final. So let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and we might be doing a watch along for the final, and we're definitely doing a match reaction after the final to see who is this year's Europa League champions. Have a beautiful day, stay safe in this crazy world, and until next time, adios.